Good morning. You're welcome to another edition of Import Export Platform, Facebook Live from 3 Pest Trade Academy. My name is Dele Ayemibo, and we'll continue our conversation from where we stopped yesterday evening. Yesterday evening, we started discussing, and we'll continue our conversation rather, on the what. Remember, we are looking at after the what, the why, and the how to export to Nigeria. And today I'm looking at part 10. And under part 10, I'm looking at again, what does Nigeria buy from abroad? Or what does Nigeria import from abroad? Or what does people export to Nigeria from abroad? Remember, we are looking at the largest market in Africa with huge potential. And we're talking to Nigerians and to foreigners. For Nigerians looking for market and foreigners who are trying to also have access to the Nigerian market. Nigerian market is hot cake because there is over 200 million people on one spot, and everybody want to take advantage of such market because what do you think? The market that you have such an opportunity. But what's painful for me is the fact that it's not Nigeria that is taking advantage of this. It is the foreigner that is taking advantage of it. And I will keep saying it that you don't see with your eyes, you see with your mind. And if you have your mind developed, it becomes easier for you to see a lot of opportunities in your environment. But when the mind is not developed, then what do you see? Complain. And that's what has happened for many in Nigeria. And that's what has happened in Nigeria. Complain. I can understand why people are complaining, because that's like in the sense that we've had very long year of misrule, and we've not really been able to enjoy the dividend of democracy in Nigeria. So there's a lot of poverty, a lot of challenges. But that, for me, is the more reason why people should put their destiny in their hands and do something for themselves, considering the fact that there's so much challenge in the environment. And one of the things you want to do, if you don't have all it takes to export, is to consider importation. And this session is basically giving you an insight into what you can actually import to Nigeria. And this is very important. Very, very important. The fact that there's so many things you can import to Nigeria, and you have a choice. You always have a choice if you want to import those items to Nigeria. If you don't import it to Nigeria, no problem. Foreigners are going to see the opportunity and lash onto it. There are businesses today in Nigeria who started by importing items to Nigeria, and after a while saw the opportunity and decided to begin to source raw material locally and import some of the raw materials and begin to produce in Nigeria. And by that, they are making much more and avoiding the cost of duty and a lot of other costs that they incur in bringing in fact, they are now net exporter of those items. And that's very important, really, because what that is basically telling you is that people can start a business just like this. And do you know what? The business is not just growing, it's making them to begin to produce that item they were probably importing before locally, because of the opportunity that they found in the importation of those items. So this morning, I'll be moving on to a new product entirely. And the product I'll be talking about is one of the largest imported products in Nigeria. Nigeria imports about 577 billion of this item. Nigeria imports about 5.77 billion of this item. So you can imagine how big and massive this item is. And the item is machines or machinery. I have a lot of them here, from valve to telephones to electrical transformer to insulated wires, broadcasting equipment, electric generating set, computers, liquid pumps, centrifuge, washing and bottling machine, video display, engine part, rubber working machinery, other heating machinery, air conditioner, refrigerator, electrical control board, machinery having individual functions, air pump, excavating machinery, electric batteries, low voltage protection equipment, industrial preparation machinery, electric filament, stone processing, large construction vehicles, electric motor, portable lighting, transmission equipment, forklift, industrial food preparation machinery, low voltage protection equipment, mill machinery, sewing machine, microphones, boat propeller, metal mold, electric heater, cranes, stone working machines, lifting machinery. Sorry, I'm trying to. I can make it wider on my laptop. I cannot make it wider on my tablet. Integrated circuit. There's so many of them. Integrated circuit, vehicle recording equipment, pulley system, electrical heater, semiconductor, gas turbine, industrial printer, spark ignition. There's so many machinery. Now, I have concern. I'm not sure how much of this machinery we are producing locally. I'm not sure. And Nigeria is importing it with $5.77 billion. Do you know what that is? Let me put it in perspective. $1 billion is 360 billion naira. $2 billion is 720 billion naira. $4 billion is 144 billion. 1.44 trillion naira. 1.44 trillion naira. 1.44 trillion naira. This is going to almost 2 trillion naira. Almost 2 trillion naira for machineries. That for me is huge, is a lot. Is huge, is a lot. Why? Because of the opportunity that is embedded in machinery. And you know what? Manufactured goods in the world constitute more than 60% of the traded goods in the world. More than 60% of the traded goods in the world for manufactured goods alone, value add. That's basically telling you that a country that produces machinery is going to make the most money. But if you check this list, one major item of import is valves, followed by telephones, followed by electrical transformer. But the one amazing to me is the insulated wire, because we have wire and cable company in Nigeria, and I was thinking that we do not import these items again. But I'm shocked to see that we are still importing wires and cables, even though we have company producing it locally. Okay, so valve is actually about I'm looking at we have almost $6 billion. 1% of that is 10% of that is 600,000. $60 million is 1%. That's $60 million. So we have about $300 million in VAV import. $300 million. Do you know what $300 million is? That's over 100 billion. 300 million is about 108 billion. Samin Ali, I'm reading out the machinery Nigeria import. So if you can scroll back to the beginning of this video, you will see the list of machinery, so you can be able to begin to consider what you can ship to Nigerian market that are produced in India. I'm making information available. I'm not the one that need them directly. I'm just making information available to Nigerians that want to import to do business. I'm making information available to foreigners who are looking to Nigerian market and need information, analysis of the market, how to penetrate the market, what is imported, most imported in the market, to be able to take advantage of it. And I'm saying machineries is constituting about $6 billion of import into Nigeria every year. Machineries. So you can take advantage of that and import machineries into Nigeria. You can take advantage of that. VAV. Telephones. You know, one of the most important items in Nigeria today is phones. Telephones. You know, we're looking at machines. Small machine, big machine, telephones. Look at how much telephone is imported into Nigeria. Telephone import into Nigeria is about 270 million dollars. Almost 100 billion. Almost 100 billion naira is used to import telephone into Nigeria. The telephone importer are spending almost 100 billion. They are spending precisely about $270 million. Like I said, $100 million is 36 billion. $200 million is 72 billion. $300 million is 108 billion. $400 million is 144 billion. I mean 1.44 1.4 or 144 billion, yeah. So what I'm trying to say basically is that, remember my objective. My objective is also geared towards job creation. For individuals that feel, okay, look, I want to be able to trade. I am looking for a business to do, and I don't know which business to do. And I'm saying now, if you don't know the business to do, I'm saying these are the things that Nigerians import. What that means basically is that these are the things that you can sell. Telephones. What that means is that these are the things that you can sell. Either by importing them, or if you're a foreigner, by exporting them to Nigeria. Remember, Nigeria is a very massive market. Nigeria is a very, very massive market with huge potentials. Only that many have not been able to take advantage of those potentials because they don't even know what potential there are in Nigeria. So when a foreigner wants to come in, he studies the country, check out what they are doing, check out where he can come into. And I said it yesterday, are you a retiree or you are planning retirement and you are looking for business to do? Can I know the sector you are from which you retire? Don't go and do something different from the sector. Look at two approach. Look for something you can do that you enjoy to do, or for business to earn money, do something. That's why, and this is the challenge of people in their career. When people are in a career and your objective is just about what to eat and what to drink, you are not considering your own satisfaction, you're not considering your own purpose, you're not considering what your life is all about, what you should be doing, and the value you should be creating for life, for helping people. That's not your headache. Your headache is just what to eat and drink. If that is your objective in life, this is what happens. You will find yourself at the end of the day doing exactly what I'm talking about. You won't be able to really, really appreciate the opportunities you have. Why? Because you are pursuing the wrong thing. You are pursuing the wrong thing. As long as human being, you are pursuing the wrong thing. By wrong thing, what do I mean exactly by wrong thing? I mean wrong thing when your objective is just what to eat and drink. Forgetting that if you pursue the right objective and creating value for humanity, what to eat and drink will become secondary. What to eat and drink will become secondary. But many don't even realize that what to eat and drink should not be your primary pursuit. Because you are not on earth to eat and drink. Is the body no more than food? Is the life no more than food, and body no more than raiment? Why is it that people are just interested only in what to eat and to drink? I think it's a misplaced priority, and I can understand why. So when people are in a job and for 10 years, for 20 years, for 30 years, for 40 years, for 30 years, you spend 30 good years of your life on that job, one would have thought that you actually have the mind. One would have thought that you actually have the mind of doing something in that space, and that is why you spend such a long time in that area. So if you are not going to do much in that space, why spending such a long time in a sector that eventually you don't want to spend the rest of your life doing? But like I said, because people don't look at higher objective when they are taking career decision, when people only look at what to eat and drink and what to put on, and that's the only thing that drives them, this is what happened. You always remember, life is more than meat, and body is more than raiment. You cannot live for what to eat and drink. You should have other more important reasons for living. Now, if you don't have, you need to find it. What exactly drives you? What is it that you enjoy and love to do that others don't even care about? Those are the things that should drive you. If you don't find that, what will happen is that you will spend most part of your life purchasing things that eventually you now ask yourself, why am I even doing this in the first place? Now, why am I digressing to this morning? I'm digressing to this morning for people to begin to live intentionally. People begin to live intentionally. If you don't live intentionally, it's going to be a wasted, and I'm sorry to say, a useless life. A life that is spent just taking care of children. A life that is spent just paying bills. A life that is spent just buying cars. A life that is find the right ideal for living. You should find the right ideal for living. So that as you spend time in your career, you are spending quality time in your career doing what is necessary and not wasting away. Before, for some people, in my opinion, they are wasting away. For some people, in my opinion, they are wasting away. What do I mean? They spend 30 years. They want to go be in the fashion industry. But their interest is in fashion. Or their interest is in trading. But if you have made that mistake and now you are retiring, ensure you do something that you love. But for more business you want to do, spend a lot of time. Find a way of marrying. Okay, let me give an example the way you can marry it. That thing you love. You can do it in form of an NGO to help people. But spend more time doing this thing you have spent your year doing, that you have mastered and love. Spend it, your time doing that, to be able to fund what you love to do. So at the end of the day, you have a reason for spending your time in this space. But what you must not do is to spend a good time of your life in what you don't love or enjoy to do. That's what you must not do. If you do that, then you are going to find yourself living a very miserable life. So I'm saying that if, for example, now you spend most of your time and your life, for example, working with a phone company, or working with let me look for some of the product I can see here, working in PACN. You spend a quality part of your life working in PACN. You should be interested in importing transformer. Partner with people to raise money to import because you already know that sector. You know how to get the business and how to supply because you've been there for 30 years. If you work in a company that is into solar panel installation, inverter, that's the company. When you go and do the same business, because the goal of work is actually where one receives knowledge. It's because people don't understand the real goal of work. That's why they think they are working for food. But unfortunately for them, they don't even appreciate how much they've learned in those number of years they've spent working. And because they've not appreciated how much they've learned in doing that, they now retire and want to go and start from the scratch as a rookie in a new industry. You're not going to waste money, waste energy, waste time, and I've seen cases in Nigeria where individuals finish working and they retired and they want to start a business, and their relative, family member, both close and distant relative, will come around. Sir, this business is very good. This business is this business is that, this business. And they convince them because they are not street smart. And they don't understand that sector. They can't ask the right question. They give money out, waiting for someone to bring money back for them in investment. And they lose the money. You don't want to find yourself in that situation. But I tell you, many people have found themselves in that situation and they have themselves to blame. And that is so critical and so important. So what I will employ is this. Please take this seriously and use this as a way of knowing, to know sectors in Nigeria that do a lot of import. What that means basically is that there are a lot of buyers of that product. That is the implication. And because there are a lot of buyers of that product, that is a sector you want to go into. Forget about the fact that it's crowded. You should come up with your own strategy for marketing to be able to create market for yourself. That's what you have to read and learn about to be able to do. So like I said, telephone is a lot. Transformer is a lot in Nigeria. Transformer and telephone are about $270 million import. Liquid pump is about $140 million. Liquid pump. Batteries. I use inverter also because of NEPA issue. And inverter, recently I had an issue in my area, no light for about a week. And we actually managed to use the inverter from Sunday till I think Friday night. Saturday night. I think it was on Saturday we started the stuff started making noise. At some point we're using one bulb because I've refused to use gen because of noise, and then I live in a place where I'm very high up in terms of third floor. So I can't afford going down to go and be switching on gen. It's just it's stressful. So I'm using inverter, and I was shocked because the inverter used 5 days because we're using one bulb. We're reducing it. When we realized that it's like this light it had issue because we've been wasting it, we now started reducing it. At some point, one bulb every. I'm just emphasizing the fact that so many people are importing inverter, are importing battery for inverter in Nigeria, and you can latch onto that. Look at what batteries, electric batteries. Electric batteries about $90 million. So we spend billions of naira, almost 36 billion naira to import electric batteries in Nigeria. These are opportunities within this sector. These are what Nigeria import. I've listed them today. I'm just isolating some. Mill machinery. Nigeria is trying to industrialize. So people bringing in milling machinery. Milling machinery here is about $60 million. $60 million. That's over a billion. That's over a billion. That's $10 million, 3.6 times 6. That's almost 20 billion naira. Almost 20 billion naira. Fridge and air condition. 120. A whopping $120 million. That's almost 40 billion naira. It's so interesting what you can take advantage of in Nigeria, the item you can import into Nigeria to be able to take advantage of this market. I'll be rounding off now. I'll continue in the evening as I move on to which other product will I be looking at in the evening. Wow. In the evening, I'll be looking at metal products. And these metal products are amazing. This metal product is huge. Amazing. It's another huge one, but not as huge as machinery. Thank you very much for listening. See you in the evening and bye for now.